Hello Internet and hello NonFiction Branders. It's me, DP Knudten, for the NonFiction Brand Podcast and NonFiction Brandversity, doing a special episode of BOOKWARD Bound. Now, if you're a regular watcher of this little live stream extravaganza, you'll know that I'm on a mission to create a book that I've been thinking about writing since, I don't know, at least 10 years. And have it done for posting and publishing via Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing by January 1st of 2021. When I started this, there were 301 days left in the year, and now I think this is episode 15 or day 15 of this consecutive live stream extravaganza, and I'm going to keep it going by working on my book. And again, the ground rules are this. 1, I have to do it every day. A live stream every single day. 2, I have to do something to advance the goal of creating my book in one form or another. That means I could write an actual section of the book. It means I could be working on an outline for the book. It means I could be working on the cover art or the design of the book, because I will be doing it all myself. It's totally DP DIY. So there's many miles to go before I actually get this thing done. And since I'm the guy doing it, I need some external poke in the butt to actually do that. And that's why I'm relying on you to give me that little bit of external impetus for getting this thing done. So thanks very much for joining me on this. And I don't pretend to know the 100% perfect way to do this. I know the 100% perfect way to get it done because I've done it before with this bad boy, a book that I published, self-published, co-written with Spencer X. Smith, my colleague. It's called Rotoma, the ROI of Social Media Top of Mind. And this was the big journey, which is, I heard you could do this thing called self-publishing for basically no money whatsoever. How do you do that? Well, I figured it out and got this done. And this book has been out since, I want to say 2018? 2017. It came out in September of 2017. So now I'm going to do it again. This time the book is called NonFiction Brand, Discovering, Crafting, and Communicating the completely true, completely you brand that you already are. Sound compelling? I hope so. Because who wants to buy a book that, doesn't have a compelling title? Anyway, it's all about nonfiction branding. My version and philosophy and practice of creating a truly authentic brand that you can, based off of who you actually are, and use for yourself and your small business, because guess what? There's no difference between them. If you're a small business, meaning a company of under 50 employees or 50 people, you are by nature a personal brand. So get over yourself and get out there in the marketplace. So how do you do that? Well, in my case, I'm going into a software package called Scrivener by the people or the team over at Literature and Latte. And here's what it looks like. It is a really great way to configure a book and actually write a book. And you can see on this page right here some of the writing I did last night. Again, I'm not going to write the whole book. I'm not going to spend hours doing this, but I'm going to spend a little bit of time every single day so that I can get this book written. Because let's face it, a book is like an elephant, and an author is someone who's tasking themselves to eat that elephant. Well, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to take one bite out of this elephant today, and what I think I'm going to do is go work on this specific section, or you could even call it chapter of the book. And I'm doing stuff like, okay, I think I want to use 16-point type for my major section or chapter headers. What's your Key 3? ? So that's a major section header. Down here, you'll see a subhead, and that's at 14-point type. So 14-point type, 14-point type, 14-point type. That's showing you that those are my subheads. Why do I do subheads? So that people can find a way to get into the copy easily. Because some people are going to go, what's your key 3? But first, a note about authorship. And so during the oppressively hot summer of 1776, he did life, liberty. Wait a minute, what does this mean? Go back and read the whole thing. Some people do it that way. So I'm writing about a concept that I developed and I teach all the time called your key 3. And this is my tell. By the way, whenever you see me do a TM, that's my shorthand way of saying this is an important big idea and it's mine, darn it. It's mine. Don't steal it. And I'm going to actually have to deal with that superscript Y later. When I'm actually doing the book, I'll have to superscript that up, move the baseline, shift it up, because I don't know if Scrivener allows you to do it, and I'm not going to waste my time because right now I'm going to be writing my book. Now, if you watched last night, you saw me blather as I'm typing stuff in and mistyping and all that stuff. I went back earlier today and I looked at some of the facts about the writing, Thomas Jefferson's writing of the Declaration of Independence, and I found some mistakes. So I've corrected them in copy already. Blah, 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 blah. And then last night I quit right around 3 concepts that make one heck of a brand. And I'm going to start there with continuing to write. Yes, the United States of America is a brand. And it has its own distinct brand, graphic and conceptual elements. The most obvious, the flag, the American flag. Red, white, and blue. Not bleu. Sorry. The French spelling will not fly here. Although, red, white, and blue. Old glory. Oh, say, does that star spangled banner yet wave? Yeah. That's one amazing logo. But as we'll discuss later in this book, a logo is not a brand. It is a key part of one, though, as is its unique, completely true key 3. Period. Yeah, there. What's a key 3? Let me tell you a little story. Let me tell you a little story. Like you, I am a creature. Creature of my past, my past and experience. I draw on it daily to inform my thinking, I don't need to blather on about that. Experience. No, I do want to keep that in there. Creature of my experience, I draw upon it daily in just about everything I do. Everything I do. Like you, I'm a creature of my past and experience. I draw upon it daily in just about everything I do. So it's not exactly a surprise to anyone who knows me that I tend to continually refer to some fundamental milestones in my career. Refer to some fundamental in my career because they made such a deep impression. Believe it or not, the following is is a true story. I was working at an ad agency in Atlanta, Georgia. On a certain global beverage manufacturers brands. The most notable is one that's more or less recognizable by even the most remote individuals in the world. And it's all because of a fluid made of... No, I'm going to keep it simpler. And it's all because of a little sweet brown bubbly water. It's all because of a recipe. Let's do that recipe for sweet brown bubbly water. How deep do I want to go with this? Probably pretty deep. If you've never worked for an ad agency, it's helpful to understand how the creative brief system works. Super simplified, it goes something like this. Agency, ad agent, I'll say ad agency. Agency account manager hammers out or hand holds the client to come up with a short set of specifics for any given advertisement. Could be a print ad, TV commercial, video, social video, you name it. It all starts here. Tab 2, ad agency. Account manager writes up the creative brief to surprise brief the creative team on the who, what, when, where, why, and oftentimes how of said advertisement vehicle is what I'm going to call it. 3, the capital C creatives, because the creatives typically copy writer and art director. then create the then concept number of concepts that fulfill the let's see how many L's in there. Fulfill the specifications of the creative brief for later presentation to the client for selection of one concept for execution. That's how it's supposed to work. That's how it's supposed to work. Yeah. And most times does, but not always. The fact is that the creative brief said account manager labored over so carefully is mostly ignored by the creative team. The copywriter just cares about the very short list of copy points, and the art director only cares about executional specifications. Sorry. Sorry, account team, but it's true. Like ad size, print specs, and production deadlines. But it's true. That's the ongoing Cold War between account and creative. That's the ongoing Cold War between account and creative. And creative only gets away with it. When the client is delighted by the work. One day, I received such a creative brief. Just write some stuff. No, I've already written about this. I'm not a fiction writer. Oh, so I already wrote about that. See, this is what happens when you write stuff piecemeal. I've already written about part of this stuff. I need to focus on the Key3 stuff. All right, I'm going to take all this stuff. Advertising. I'm just going to put this copy over here. This is one of the cool things about Scrivener. If I have some copy that I don't think fits, but I don't want to lose it, I can plug it over here in notes on this section so that when I go through this again, I can look at it and actually I want you to be able to see this. I can look at both of this and say, is there anything in here that I want to put in over here? And I don't lose the keystrokes because I'm a lazy typist and I'm not a very good one. So I hate to lose keystrokes. All right, so let's get back to Key3. What's your Key3? So what's a Key3? Going back to my Atlanta days, the major brand, I had my posterior handed to me a number of times by clients who would always quiz me with the following. How does this ad slash video slash TV script convey the concept of authenticity? Then assuming I pulled an appropriately convincing story out of wherever best stories come from, they'd ask the question again, but substituting the words again twice, but substituting the words refresh and sociability. 4. Authenticity. Why? They were defending the brand. Believe me, I hated those guys. I hated those guys. I hated those guys. They'd kill any piece that did not cover the base, the 3 bases of authenticity, refreshment, and sociability. I hated those guys. It could be it could be brilliant. It could be brilliant. Touching. Hilarious. Impactful. And guaranteed to win awards. But those snipers just did not give a rip. Why? Because they were defending the brand. After walking into their machine gun fire a couple too many times, I decided to wise up and play their game. And lay their game? No. And play their game. So I tried to understand where they were coming from and why. And one day I got it. One day I did. Their flagship product was nothing but sweet, brown, bubbly water. Unless it was a brand. I'll leave that for later. All right, that goes to 14. I think it's 14 bold, right? Let's go to 14 bold. 14 bold. 14 bold. And 14 bold. Right. And was a commodity. But there wasn't a commodity at all. It was one of the most valuable brand properties in all the world. Take the word brand out of there. Because it was a capital B iron brand. Boom. The lights went on, and I got it. And I got it. The only thing separating them from their fiercest competitor was that they were the first to go nationwide in 1886. And that gave them the most important thing for any brand. First mover status. First mover status. They could legitimately call themselves the real thing because they were. But thus, the nanosecond, they stopped defending that position. They could lose it all. As much has been I think of the real secret recipe. Taking that up to 14 point bold, 14 and bold. What size is this type? I want it. I don't want it. What do I want it? I want it 12. So I got to correct all this stuff too. Correct it now or correct it later, which I'll probably be doing anyway. But as long as I'm here and thinking about it, when you're writing a book and you see a mistake or something that needs correction, correct it that second, because there's so many pages and you'll be touching this book at so many different times that if you think, oh, I'll correct it later because I'll remember, you won't remember. There are just too many moving pieces. So it's critical you make these changes and corrections from the get-go. Make sure that's 12 point. Much has been made of the secret formula of this product. You figure it out yet? Supposedly, only a handful of people actually know it. But I think the real secret lies in those 3 annoying to a copywriter at least. Foundational concepts authenticity, refreshment, and sociability. I could spend, no, I could spend hours discussing the nuances of those 3 words and how they apply to this global juggernauts brand. That's the point. These 3 first principal concepts enable a deep, rich understanding of a deep, rich basis for every communication that emanates from or is about this top 50 brand. 3 words that tell a million stories completely true Origin stories. That's what I call Key 3. Have a Key 3 for your All right. I think I'm going to leave it here for tonight, because I know exactly what I'm going to write next. You know, and again, you know, I've got a full-time job working for my own business. You know, I got to work on my business and I got to work in my business. And then I also have to work on something like this, which is an adjunct to my business. I mean, come on, let's face it. If you want to build a personal brand, there are few better ways to do it than to create a book that is going to reside on someone's desk with your name on it, and that they can pass off to other people. And it's the perfect or near perfect demonstration of who you are, what you do, and how you do it. The only thing better when it comes to demonstrating who you are, what you do, and how you do it is what I'm doing right now, which is I'm getting in front of you, I'm talking to you, I'm sharing with you the way I think, I'm inviting you to participate in the creation of this new book, and I'm doing it in a way that makes me seem maybe on a little bit more fearless side of humanity. Let's face it, doing live streaming video is hard. Getting up the nerve to do it once is impressive. Doing it on a regular basis is even better. But doing it on 301 consecutive nights or afternoons or whenever I can get around to it, no matter where I am, that's epic. This is like Beowulf, and Grendel is my book. Well, I'm the hero Beowulf, and I'm going to slay Grendel. And I'm going to have that book done by January 1st, 2021, ready for publishing. I'm not guaranteeing that the hard copies will be available January 1st, 2021, but the files will be posted on January 1st, 2021, if not before, to Kindle Direct Publishing. And I'm going to have a new book. I mean, literally, I'm saying that baby's going to be born by the end of January 2021. I'm making that commitment to you, and you are going to help keep me honest about it. So I want to thank you for paying attention, for checking in and seeing where I am, and also being the inspiration that keeps me going, working toward this goal that I've set for myself. I couldn't do it without you, quite literally. I'm DP Knudten for the NonFiction Brand podcast, which comes out every Monday. This coming Monday, I think, is episode 82, if I'm not mistaken. And also, NonFiction Brandversity is a free Facebook group that I would love to invite you to join. All you have to do is go to Facebook, search NonFiction Brandversity, ask to join. You'll be asked 3 questions to prove you're not a bot, and you're in. It's a great little community of people who want to build their personal brands, meet new people who are also interested in building their personal brands, and doing it in a way that is completely true and completely you. So thanks again for watching this live stream tonight. I'll talk to you definitely tomorrow. I don't know if you'll be here, but I will. And I want to leave you with the NonFiction Brandversity theme music. That's right. That's all for tonight. I'm DP Knudten, and I'll see you later.